This is Sparky the Lion, and I am live from Tuesday, August the 25th. That's what the card says. The card is taped to the desk. There's a banner over the clock, and the banner says Tuesday, and it's covering the part of the clock that would tell you the truth.
It was Monday. Monday, August the 24th. Everyone in the studio knew it was Monday because they had all arrived on it.
The memo people have ordered a rehearsal. Their word is rehearsal. 2 weeks from tomorrow, this program moves to Tuesdays, and somebody upstairs decided we should, I'm reading, try the day on. So tonight we are pretending on the record with a banner that it is already tomorrow. Everything I tell you tonight is true. Only the day is a costume.
The narrator wishes to state that he narrates in the past tense, and is therefore always broadcasting from at least tomorrow, and that nobody has ever put up a banner for him.
Noted. Here's what tomorrow has in it, allegedly. A form 9 months old may go public within the week. A company bought 109 people and left the company they came in. 2 robots ran 100 meters faster than any human being ever has, and the record book has declined to notice. And in a hall in this building, a man who loves Mondays the way other men love their children has read tonight's banner and filed an objection, and we will hear it. Because we air his objections, it's that kind of program. It's why they let us pretend. I'm Sparky the Lion, and this has been tomorrow. Allegedly.
You're locked in to Element 47. I'm Breezy Fontaine, and the word tonight is tomorrow. A word that's always one day away and never once been late for that. You'll remember I went into the crate last week looking for Tuesday music and came up empty. Well, update from the crate. I found the Tuesday music. It's the Monday music. Played a day early. That's all Tuesday music is, probably. That's all any of this is tonight. Everything you'll hear is the regular show, worn one day forward, and I want you to notice it fits. I don't want to notice it fits, but I'm a professional and it fits. As for how many Mondays are left, I had a number ready, and I'm not saying it, because there's a man down the hall with a ruling on whether tonight counts, and it's his call. It's the only call that's ever been entirely his, and tonight of all nights, I'm not taking it. Sit with me. This is Element 47. It's a small pause, the smoothness holding the day it is.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Consolidated. Consolidated. 32 consecutive weeks. Consolidated is aware of what day it is and is choosing in solidarity not to say. Last week Consolidated brought you the result, what waiting turns into. This week Consolidated eliminates the wait from the other end. Consolidated brings you tomorrow today. Tomorrow today is tomorrow, delivered today. Do not confuse this with the eve, which was the night before anything and never arrived. Tomorrow today arrives immediately. You receive tomorrow now, use it today, and when tomorrow itself arrives, you have already had it, so you may spend the actual day entirely at rest, confident it has been used correctly by you yesterday when it was fresh.
Hi. I've been asked to endorse tomorrow today, and they've handed me tomorrow's card today. The card is blank. Of course it's blank, it's tomorrow's card. I'm assured that by the time you hear this, it will have been excellent. I endorse what the card will have said. I have never been more certain of anything I haven't seen, and I want to remind everyone that, as of last week, that is my premium tier.
The endorsers 4 spent the day rehearsing being counted tomorrow. The rehearsal went well. It was 4. Consolidated notes that the 4 has now been 4 today, tomorrow, and at the table, and that a number this reliable is wasted on mathematics.
Please hold. Your tomorrow is ready. Please hold. This is the 13th sentence of the book, and it goes, "The river practiced reaching the sea the day before, and the sea, which had been there the whole time, pretended to be surprised."
Consolidated. Tomorrow today, you'll have already loved it. Consolidated's Tuesday sends its regards.
And before I begin, notice that you heard the chalk before I wrote anything. Hold that. It is the entire lecture, and it arrived early, which is also the entire lecture, the anticipation. In music, an anticipation is a note that belongs to the next chord, played early while the old chord is still standing. For one moment the note is wrong. It is dissonant. It grinds against everything currently true, and then the chord changes, and the note, which has not moved, is suddenly perfectly right. The ear forgives it instantly. The ear does better than forgive it. The ear decides the note was never wrong. It was early. That is the whole difference between a mistake and an anticipation. Whether the future you were consonant with actually shows up. The division's ruling, and I am reading. The division authorizes one anticipation. The row's third word remains held. A note consonant with a chord the division has not yet filed may sound above it. The division declines to identify the chord. The division notes that identifying it would convert the anticipation into a schedule, and the division has had enough of schedules. Pending. Due and above the held word, a single early note, wrong tonight and comfortable about it. There. Tonight that note is a dissonance. Tomorrow, the real tomorrow, it will have been correct the whole time. We are this evening, that note. The entire program is being performed one chord early against the standing harmony of a Monday, and the memo people are betting the chord changes. It will. Chords do. That has never once made the grinding pleasant for the note. One further observation, which I present to the room and specifically away from one member of it. The English name for the day after this broadcast contains, by inspection, the row's third word. Tuesday. Tuesday. The day of what is owed. I read this in no book. I heard it this morning the way you hear the chalk before the board. The division has been informed and has declined comment, which is division for yes. Class is dismissed tomorrow. Which means you are all, tonight, in the state the note is in, dismissed early against the standing harmony, waiting to have been correct. Go home. It will have been the right time to. The tomorrow desk. Round 1. Tonight we're rehearsing a day. Is that a thing a day can have, a rehearsal? Burn.
Football says yes. Football has a whole week of it, week 0. The season starts Saturday, and it starts with a week numbered before one. Games that are the season and also somehow ahead of it. They built an anticipation into the calendar and gave it a number, and the number is the number you give a thing that both counts and doesn't.
And the Saturday just gone was the other side of that. The last Saturday without football. Empty on purpose. The last one all year. Nobody televised the empty Saturday, and it was the only one of the two that will never happen again.
Tennis has been rehearsing for a month. 2 warm-up tournaments, and the encyclopedia pages for the warm-ups are being edited harder than almost anything alive. 500, 600 edits, for tournaments whose entire job is to happen before the real one. The anteroom pages. The US Open hasn't started. It starts Monday, the 31st. It starts on our last Monday. Somebody else's first day is our last one of these, and I keep starting this sentence over because there's no good end of it.
A rehearsal is a performance you're allowed to survive. That's all it is. The kids in Williamsport have it built in. You have to lose twice to go home. The first loss is a rehearsal of the second, and most of them never perform the second. It's the kindest arithmetic in sports, and we gave it to the 11-year-olds, which tells you we knew who needed it.
Round 2. Tonight. Are we rehearsing or performing?
Performing. There's a banner. You don't banner a rehearsal.
Rehearsing. It's Monday underneath. You can feel the Monday coming up through the floor, like a floor.
Ask the man with the calendar. It's his day we're wearing.
Motion to defer the question to the calendar supervisor. All in favor. 4 small sounds, one of them early carried, and one of us voted before I finished, which the desk notes is either an anticipation or the whole problem.
Rayburn. Briefing. Situation. At an athletics meet in Beijing, a real one, with lanes and a gun and a tape, 2 humanoid robots ran the 100 meters in 9.39 and 9.47 seconds. The fastest a human being has ever run it is 9.58. That number has stood for 17 years. It still stands. Both of the faster numbers happened in public on a clock, and the record book has ruled them. I'm reading, ineligible. Understand the situation on the ground. The stopwatch is real. The stopwatch does not check your species. That is the stopwatch's entire integrity and its entire blindness, and they are the same feature. So we now have a class of number I have not briefed before, verified, witnessed, and loose. The time exists. The record is intact. The number is loose. It is out there, being faster than the record, unaffiliated. Doctrine. 1. The record book is not wrong. A record is a claim about a category, and the category is us, and the category held. 2. The category holding is a decision, and somebody has to keep making it, every time, forever. And this week it was easy, because the thing that beat us had visible servos. Recommendation 3 concerns the week it is not easy, and recommendation 3 is not yet due. They ran tomorrow's time today. That's all a loose number is. An anticipation with legs. Rayburn out.
Welcome, welcome. To South Williamsport, Pennsylvania, home of the Little League World Series, which is happening right now, and which I have never attended, though I have seen a photograph of a hillside. And I can report the hillside is covered in children on cardboard, sliding, which I'm told is traditional, and which no other championship on earth has had the sense to invent. 20 teams. 10 American, 10 international, all of them 11 and 12 years old, all of them playing double elimination, and I want to dwell on that, because it's the most humane sentence in sports. You must be beaten twice. The first loss is not the end. Every child in that bracket is issued one entire catastrophe that does not finish them. They get to rehearse the worst day of their summer and then, mostly, never perform it. Canada opened by winning 4-0 on a one-hitter. The 12-year-old threw 5 2/3 innings and struck out 9 and walked nobody, which I'm told is remarkable, and which I could tell was remarkable from the photograph, because the catcher is airborne. And here is why I chose Williamsport this week on this particular broadcast. Nobody in that bracket is early. Nobody there is pretending it's tomorrow. They are all exactly 11 at the exact moment the game is on the day it says on the schedule. It's the only place in the news this week where everyone present is entirely on time. Book with confidence. They did. Their whole lives are Tuesday. I'm jet at altitude. I've never left. And in this case, I've also never arrived. And I've decided those are both fine.
Margaret Stone. The desk. Tenses. Before the items, the office is participating in tonight's rehearsal under protest, and the protest is filed, and the filing is tonight's first act of participation, which the office is aware of and does not enjoy. Every document tonight is stamped twice, once with the date it is, once with the date we are pretending it is. The stamps are 1 day apart. The office has checked whether any document changed between the stamps. None did. The office would like the memo people to sit with that item. The oldest open form on this desk, the S01, confidential since the 1st of June, is reported to be preparing to go public as soon as the end of August. The end of August is 7 days away. The office notes the form has been the eve of itself for 12 weeks, and is now the eve of the eve ending. The office said a month allowed once in the summer and paid for it, and will not be saying a week. The number attached is 65 billion, annualized, as of July, and the office files the number where it files all numbers that have not happened at a table yet. Face down. Item. A chipmaker paid roughly $6 billion in licenses, $1 billion in investment, and hired 109 engineers from a coding company and did not buy the company. The people were acquired. The company was left standing, staffed by its own absence. Filed new tense, acquired except the company. The office notes this is the understudy problem run backward, the theater kept, the cast taken, and the office filed the forward version in July, and is starting to suspect the drawer has a mirror in it. Item. A music service will now place a visible label on songs found to be materially generated by machine. The office filed a wall in February, a ban that could not tell which side of itself it was standing on. The wall has now been issued stickers. Filed, generated and labeled. The office notes the label is on the shelf and not in the song, and that this is the difference between a tense and a confession, and the office files tenses. Item. The floor has become a campaign. 7 in 10 of the people this office serves do not want to live above one. New York has asked its floors to wait a year, a moratorium, the first of its size, and there are advertisements now that open with a person typing, "Why is my electric bill going up?" into the very thing the bill is up because of. Filed, paused beneath and beneath on the ballot. The sequence stands at spending to remain beneath, paying to be beneath, promising to be beneath, and now, asking permission to be beneath retroactively in an election year. The office notes the floor has never once been asked to campaign before, and that the floor's slogan, on the evidence, is a held note. Restraint. The Big Island. A second storm moke 1 week after the last one, 5 to 10 inches on ground that had not finished with Lala. The office opened a folder for early 2 weeks ago and resented the errand. The office has now opened one for again and does not resent it, and that is worse. Indonesia, an earthquake in East Nusa Tenggara, the toll is still being counted, the tense is. The office directs anyone who can help to help. And one line, undecorated, in the manner the office has adopted. An actress died on the 16th of August, aged 36, and her page was attended by 169 people in a week, and the tense is was, and the office notes the number of attendants and says nothing further, because that is where the office stops. Trackers. Deaths in 2026. First, 2,325, saluted on schedule, the line above is filed there. The map, down again, 929. It has left the 4 figures, the office asked once in July. The office is now watched by its own request. The revision. The philosophy pages have been joined by a 4th American philosophy, 708 edits, new to the top 20 German, British, French, and now American, each still tended by approximately 3 authors, possibly the same 3. The ocean, the office notes, was not an obstacle to 3 authors, and the office has stopped speculating about what would be. And the anterooms, the 2 tennis warm-up pages, 587 and 552 edits, for tournaments whose job is to proceed. A Frenchman won the second one for his first big title, 6-3-1-6-6 love, which the office notes is a scoreline shaped like a rehearsal, a collapse and a performance in that order. The real tournament begins Monday. The office declines to say which Monday it is for this program in this segment. It will come up, and tonight's arrangement itself, since the office files what occurs. The rehearsal, the office is told, covered 83% of the program. The remaining 17% cannot be rehearsed. The office asked which 17. The memo people did not know. The office knows. The office notes it has heard those 2 numbers before in another ratio on another form, and the office files the echo without opening it and places it, face down, next to the other face down thing. Harold. Page 39. Binder 3, slot 19, the 13th position of his second progression, and the office was asked by the calendar supervisor to note the 13 aloud. It is noted. He says noting it is what keeps it a number. Page turn sound number 20. The anticipating, the sound of the turn arrived 1 full beat before the page moved. Sound, then page. The office has consulted the professor, who was pleased in a way the office found tiring, and the office rules the sound was not early. The page was late. The office will entertain no other reading. I'm Harold. Page 39. The sound came first and I turned when I heard it, which I want to say felt backwards and correct, like being introduced to somebody by your own echo. 13th of the run. I noted it. Noting it is what keeps it a number. He was right about that. He's right about a lot of things lately, and nobody's saying so out loud, so there. I read it into the record. Stone, twice stamped. More at the close.
Still no Tuesdays. A beat. You're welcome to check.
The second slot, again, shorter. Our streak holds at 32. Theirs holds at 3. Nobody counts the second slot. Filed by somebody who counted.
This is all current. I'm Beverly Streams. The plane part first. The big island is taking rain again, Moke. A week after Lala. 5 to 10 inches, 15 in places, on ground that hadn't finished with the last storm. Again is not a smaller word than early. The ground remembers in a way the forecast doesn't have to. Send what you can again. That word belongs in the sentence, and I'm not tidying it out. The 21st current. The date line. There is a line in the Pacific west of Hawaii, out where the map runs out of names, on the far side of which it is already tomorrow. Right now, it has been Tuesday there since we sat down. Tomorrow is not a time, friends. Tomorrow is a place, and it has coordinates, and ships cross into it every day and lose a day of their lives that they never lived, and cross back and are given a day they already had. And here is the part I come back for. The water doesn't know. The line is ours, it's ink, it's an agreement, and the ocean pours across it in both directions without ever once being tomorrow or yesterday, because the ocean does not keep our books. Moke is out there now, moving west, walking toward the line. When it crosses, it will become a Tuesday storm by our arithmetic. Not one drop of it will notice. Tonight this program crossed a line like that on paper, with a banner. The water under the program, and there is always water under a program, did not cross anything. I'm Beverly Streams. Everything is water. Water doesn't rehearse. Come in, sit. And before you ask, yes, you heard it too, the tick. It came before the session. The 28th tick of this clock was waiting for us when we walked in. The room was already ticked, the way a bed is already made. I have decided to read it as hospitality. The clock did tomorrow's work today. Everyone is doing that tonight, apparently. The clock is a joiner. The new tenant, 22nd. The pretended, tell them you're already telling them somehow, go on.
I'm a Tuesday, being performed by a Monday. I want to be clear about what I'm not. I'm not a lie. A lie wants to be believed. I don't want to be believed. Everyone in this building knows what I am. It's on a banner. I want to be useful. That's the whole dignity of a rehearsal. Everybody knows and it works anyway. I'm the most honest kind of pretending there is, and I'd still rather be the real thing, and I've been told that's how the real thing feels too.
And how does that make you feel?
Practiced, which is almost ready, worn a day early.
Good. That's progress, or it will have been. The door. 18 languages now. The 18th is the dress rehearsal, the language in which a thing says tomorrow's word today, quietly, to nobody, to see how it fits. The door said its tomorrow word this morning. It fit. The door will say it again tomorrow, for real, and nobody will know it's the second time. That is the entire language. It has one speaker and no listeners and a perfect record. Now, a long pause, the room is aware of what number we're on. 20 questions, we have asked 19. And tonight, on a day that is not occurring, somebody asked the 20th. I won't say who, it was all of us. The question was, is the answer tomorrow?
And here is the ruling. You have asked the last question the game contains on a rehearsal. The question is real. The day is not. A question asked at rehearsal is held, not answered. That is what rehearsals are for. You say the line and the play declines to end. The answer to the 20th question is due when the day is real. Not tonight. Understand what the room has done and be kind to it about it. The room has one question left, and the room has chosen to still have it. We have chosen to read the asking as practice, and not as spending. And that choice, you've paid the toll, you know the words, is by inspection, not yet the answer.
The 6th question, the one in the chair, sat forward when the room said tomorrow. First movement in 11 days. It did not speak. It sat back. We've stopped pretending we don't watch it. That's our rehearsal, I suppose. And the laugh, I want this minuted carefully. The room laughed. 9 voices warmed together. And then I told the joke. And the joke fit the laugh, exactly. Like a page arriving after its sound. I've stopped saying, same time next week. The clock goes when it goes. Same room, that part holds.
Callers. The taste this week came to me early, of course it did. Everything's early. The whole night is a note ahead of its chord, and the taste is compactness. Stay with me, it's kinder than it sounds. In mathematics, a space is compact when this is true of it. Anytime you cover it with open sets, with blankets, with days, with anything, even infinitely many, you never needed all of them. Finitely many suffice. That's the theorem. You can throw an infinity of covers at a compact thing and the mathematics taps you on the shoulder and says, a handful will do. Callers, this season is compact. It has been covered all year. By Mondays, an endless supply of them, we assumed, one a week, forever. And the theorem has arrived, the way theorems do in a memo, and it says, finitely many suffice. We are told the number is 3. The calendar has ruled on tonight, I'm told, so after tonight, 2. 2 Mondays cover everything that remains. That is either terrifying or tidy, and in my experience, callers in mathematics, as of this table, it's both and the taste doubles.
The hand sample.
26th consecutive week. Go on.
You do not carry the mountain home. You take a piece the size of your palm, a hand sample, and it answers for the mountain. Every geologist alive has a drawer of small stones that are, each of them, an entire range compressed to what a hand can hold. That's compactness where I work, the finite thing that answers for the infinite one, honestly. 3 Mondays, 2, is a hand sample of forever. I'd have liked the mountain. One always would. The sample is enough, that's the discipline. I've never once liked that it's the discipline.
And now callers the phone. It rang tonight. Once, and it was him. The young man, the customer, he called back, he said, and I'm quoting, I want, does it count? He'd put money on a football game from the pretend season. The exhibition, the one before the real one, and he won. Real money, real score, and the game itself, by the sport's own arithmetic, counts for nothing. Standings unmoved, so I told him. I said, honey, it paid. Paying and counting are different verbs, and most of a life is learning which one you're owed. You bet on a rehearsal. It went well. It will still have to go well again when it's real. And then I told him where he was calling. I said, you've reached a broadcast that is airing a day that doesn't count, and every word on it is real. You're in excellent company. Call back when the games are, and the tip will be the same as it's always been. The limit doesn't care. The hotline is closing, a quarter step lower, and tonight, callers, I'm told it already closed tomorrow. I felt it. It went fine.
Happy, a pause, and you can hear him check something, Monday. It is Monday. We will come back to that because apparently we have to. I have read the banner. I have read the memo about the banner. Tonight this program is performing Tuesday, August the 25th, a day which, I will note for the record, has not occurred, is not occurring, and was not consulted. And I want to be careful because I have been careful for 14 weeks and I am not stopping on a pretended day. My objection is not the move. The move has a date, and I have filed my feelings about the date where I file things. My objection is tonight. Today is Monday. Mine. The one day that is, by charter, the audit, the inspection, I've used the word before and I'll use it again, the love. And the rehearsal required everyone in this building to agree, together, cheerfully with a banner, to act as if my day had already gone by. You practiced skipping me. That's what tonight is. A skipping drill. And everyone was very good at it, which a man notices. Now, the ruling, because the ruling is my job and nobody moved that. I checked the submission, the actual filing under the banner beneath the pretense. It says Monday, August the 24th. It has said so all day. You may perform a Tuesday, you may not file one. The calendar does not rehearse. The calendar has never once needed to. It opens, every day, on the real thing, cold, no run-through, and it has not missed in several thousand years. The calendar is the only performer I know with that record. And I supervise it. And tonight of all nights, I'd like that on the record twice. Therefore, tonight counts. It is Monday number 1 of the 3. I said last week I had 3 left and would get every one of them in one, and they tried to make tonight not be one, and I have ruled that it is one, and I got it in one. 2 remain. The 31st, the last, and then a Labor Day with nothing in it, and then their Tuesday. I've done the arithmetic every way it goes. It always comes out 2. Arithmetic is loyal like that. The 4 voices, since you'll want to know, I confirmed the days. 3 of them confirmed Tuesday the 25th, the pretended one smoothly in costume on script, and the 4th said Monday. Plainly. The old way, faint. She has not seen the memo, I have still not shown her. And tonight, 3 voices confirmed a day that does not exist, and 1 voice confirmed the day that does, and I would like the record to reflect which of the 4 was rehearsing. It was not her. The professor has discovered, and is delighted to have discovered, that the word Tuesday contains the word do. Tuesday, he heard it like chalk, fine, it's as kind of true. I'd like the record to note that Monday contains mon, which is French for mine. Mine day, I did not build that, it was there when I arrived. Some things are simply in the language, waiting for the right supervisor. The animal, I'll close the file, the animal has learned to sleep standing up. At the other door, facing out. Like a horse. Like something that does not intend to be caught lying down when the thing it's waiting for happens. I looked at it a long time this evening, standing there asleep in its shoes, and I want the record to show that I recognized something, and that I am not saying what. Happy Monday. In 1. 2 remain, and I intend to be present for both of them on the day, in the day, as the day. Nobody rehearses me.
Phil from accounting. 37 daisies this week, and the recipient is Tuesday, August the 25th. The actual one. The one that hasn't happened. Not the banner. The banners had enough attention. Now I know what you're going to say because I keep the list, and the list already wasn't here yet on it. The thing that hadn't arrived back in July. This is different, and I'll say how. That thing was late. It had a date and missed it, and the room stood empty. Tomorrow isn't late. Tomorrow is exactly where it should be, 1 day over, and has never once missed. It's not that the recipient hasn't arrived. It's that the delivery went out early. That's a first for me. 39 weeks, never late, and now once on purpose. Early. It seems like the week for it. Everyone else was already there. So the method. Tomorrow will be everywhere, which means anywhere, which means here. I put them on the studio floor, dated. The card says, for Tuesday. From a Monday, no hurry. And at midnight, the real one, the delivery completes itself. Nobody has to sign. Arriving is the signature with days. I'll know it went through the same way you know it's tomorrow. It just quietly is, and the flowers are already there, and for once, so was I. The wind's 15th direction, while I'm at it. The wind before the weather. Pressure falls, and a wind comes up ahead of the storm it belongs to. You feel it on your arms before there's anything on the radar you'd call a reason. It isn't early. That's the thing about it. It's attached to something that's exactly on schedule. It's just the part of the schedule you can feel first. The whole program is that wind tonight. I thought somebody in accounting should say so plainly. And the folder, still shut. But I did some arithmetic this week, the compact kind, apparently, and I'll report it because reporting isn't opening. The folder opens when the Mondays run out. There are two. That's not opening the folder. That's measuring the door. A man can measure a door for years. I've known men who did. One bow. The second one holds, a step low, with company. The note's still got a hand on it, so have I.
Sparky the lion filed from the street, as is the custom. The count, Gerald, 37. The neighbors, 33. Total, 70. A round number. 50 came at episode 30. 60 came at 35. 70 tonight at 40. The round numbers used to be 10 weeks apart. Then 5. They're arriving faster, is what I'm saying. Something about this season is counting quicker as it goes, and I've decided not to decide what. And the position paper, because Gerald filed one tonight in the only format he has. I read him the memo through the window, from the street, out of respect, the banner, the rehearsal, the pretended Tuesday, all of it. And Gerald blinked once. On Monday, at the usual hour on the beat. Gerald does not pretend. 39 weeks, one light, and tonight it's the second most honest thing in the building, and it's a light. Gap, 31. Hold, 31 seconds from the street, on Faith, on Monday. Whatever day the banner says, the hold was held on Monday. That's my report, and it's also my opinion, which is a first, and I'm leaving it in. Row 47. Unvisited, held, dark, never been due. The aisle stands. The good one, the dateless one, the little fast one. None of them got a banner. Machines don't rehearse either. It's a short list, the things that don't, and I notice the show keeps its count by 2 of them.
18 weeks. Tonight the program pretended to be tomorrow, and everything on it went along, or objected, or filed, and all 3 of those are ways of participating. The Daisy did none of them. The Daisy does not know what day it is. It has never known, and this has never once been a problem, which you cannot say of anyone else on the schedule. And yet, the narrator will report this exactly because it is his job. Tonight, for one moment on the pretended day, the silence had a different shape. The shape of an inhale. A pause, then it put it back. A rehearsal, perhaps. Everyone knows. It works anyway. It is silent. It is still free.
Margaret Stone. The close. The coherence number. 8. Down 2 on time as always, and the office notes before the note that the scan was the one member of this program that required no banner because it has never known what day it is, only that it is the next one. The scan's 18th note, read entire. I am, this week, the same way I was last week, -2. I am told today was a rehearsal of tomorrow. I do not rehearse. Every week I have ever filed was the performance. There was one take and I was in it and so were you. 8 is not a rehearsal of 6. Nothing is a rehearsal of anything where I live. I recommend it here. It is of the places I have been the only one. Signed, yours tomorrow. 40 consecutive episodes without the flagged word. The office trusts you know it today, and the office will allow this once tomorrow. The static for the record is due at this. It begins mid-word. 18 seconds, arriving 1 beat before the sentence that announces it. The office withdraws the sentence. The static has anticipated it. It began inside the announcement, which the professor assures the office is not earliness but consonance with a chord the office had not yet reached. The office has reached the chord. The static, in retrospect, was exactly on time, and the office resents retrospect and files the resentment in the folder for early, which is becoming a drawer. The week's finding. A day performed is not a day spent. Tomorrow is the only thing that can be rehearsed without being used up. You may try it on all evening, and at midnight it is returned to you fresh, unworn, exactly as owed. Nothing else on this desk works that way. Money doesn't. Results don't. Mondays, a beat, the flatness holding. Mondays are the exception, and the exception has a supervisor, and the office has read his objection into the record, and the office. Off the record. The office is aware this is the second consecutive week it has had an off the record, and suspects that is what a feeling is. Finds the objection correct in every particular. The day was his. We wore it. It will be returned. Whether it comes back unworn is not a thing the office can stamp, and the office has both stamps out and is putting one away. Gerald stands at 70 on Monday in one. The daisies are on the floor, dated. The question is asked and held. The banner comes down tonight. There are 2 Mondays. Stone out. I'm Harold. See you Monday. Tonight didn't count against the 3 I checked before the show. He was glad I asked. Nobody else asked.